Hi everybody, all my followers, welcome to another video. This video today is on a 2006 Volkswagen Golf Plus, and the engine on this is the 1.9 TDI, and I think the engine code is the BXE, if I'm not mistaken. So the car came to me with two problems. One problem I might make another video for it, maybe not, I don't know yet, because I don't know what's wrong with it yet. Is one of the rear windows that does not work, but the problem we're going to capture here today is that the engine takes a little bit too long to start, and actually 2 days ago, I haven't started the engine for 2 days, but 2 days ago I went to start the engine and it didn't start at all. I nearly flat out the battery, just tried to crank the engine. I ended up by having to jump the car, and then I managed to get it going. After that, started fine. I mean, it started, but always with this problem that hopefully you are going to be able to see it now. So I'm going to turn the ignition on, and I hope it's going to start and you can see exactly what it does. Okay, it's not going to start. It's doing the same that did 2 days ago. No, it's not going to start. So 2 days ago, did exactly this. I couldn't get the engine to start at all. After that, the engine starts, but it takes a little bit too long. It goes like a few turns until it actually fires up. When I first got the car, I scanned the car, and there was loads of codes on the car when I first got it. And what I've done at that time was I've deleted all the codes. I've deleted all the codes, and only one code came back on, which hopefully we're gonna be able to see it in a minute. Turn the ignition on. Okay, so this is the 5M. It's a 2006. It's a sedan, and the engine is the BXE. That's the one. Okay, let's gonna go quick to diagnosis. Control unit. Gonna go engine. Okay, turbo codes. Hopefully there's only one code in there. Oh, there's more than that now. Okay, so actually there is more now. So actually it's good that I've done this, because I haven't had the... Okay, when I first got the car, these was the codes I've got, plus a few more. It was like, I don't know, it was about 15 codes in total. Some of them, obviously, they were not here from now, so they were here for a long time. So I've cleared everything, and at that time, there was only one code that came up, which was the stop code. These codes, they never came back. But saying that, today's a little bit colder. So it might be that today the car is trying to use them, and might be why it's not starting. But nevertheless, even when the car starts, if I jump the car now, probably I'll be able to start the engine. And then I might do that actually, just to show you that it takes a little bit longer to start. But the fact that the car takes long to start, I believe is going to be because of the stop code. The glow plugs, is trying to use the glow plugs now, because the engine is cold, the temperature is a little bit lower, and obviously he tried to activate the glow plugs and detected that the glow plugs are gone, or there is a problem in there. The other times when I've tried, the car didn't need this, so he never activated the plug, so he never saw that was something wrong with it. That's the way I interpret this. I think is the way it is. But this was my concern from the beginning for the long crank. Before the engine actually fires up. Now, what we're going to do is, so it tells me that there is a problem with the camshaft. So what we're going to do is, we're going to look at the live data, and what I want to see is, there is two places, guys, where you can actually see where is the thing? There is two places, 5 I think. Which one is? There is. So camshaft speed. I'm gonna crank the engine and you're gonna see that there is no speed in there. You're going to see the engine speed, obviously, but you're not going to see nothing on the camshaft. Okay? So that indicates, obviously, that there's no speed, but there's another place. Oh, come on. There is another place, although, because the engine is not starting at all, I don't think you're going to be able to see nothing there. Because I'm not sure if that would show while the engine is cranking, which is the torsion value. Okay, so the torsion value is basically the camshaft adjustment in angles, and I think it's not going to show nothing. Yeah, it's stuck on 0, but because the engine is not starting, I'm not 100% sure if that would be captured now while the engine is cranking, or if it only shows with the engine running. But yeah, so everything indicates for a faulty, well, everything indicates for a problem on that sensor. And now obviously I have a problem here as well. So although at the start I was thinking that would be only that problem, now we're going to have to tackle these two problems as well. So we're going to have to test the glow plugs as well. But right. Let's gonna do something here. So hang on. Let me save this. I will save this page as a JPEG. That's fine. It's gonna put Golf codes. That's fine. Go back. It's gonna clear these DTCs. Okay, there's no faults detected now, as you can see. Came up with no faults. Now I'm gonna crank the engine again. And I want to see what comes back. No faults detected. Really? Nah. He's not gonna start at all. I'm gonna have to jump the engine. No, the car again. Oh dear. Okay, so here we have the same codes again. Okay. Right, the first thing I'm gonna have a look is at the camshaft position sensor. I want to establish first if my problem is the sensor itself, or if it's a wiring problem from the sensor to the module. to the ECM. So to do that, obviously we looked at the live data, so we know that the information isn't not getting to the ECU, but nevertheless I want to make sure that the problem is the sensor and not the wire before I spend any money in parts. So that's what we're going to do. Okay guys, so just to show you this, so I had the van and I just jumped the car. I'm going to show you, I had the engine running for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to show you now exactly what it does when you try to start it. So as you can see, it starts fine, but it takes a little bit extra to go. But as you have seen earlier, it didn't start at all. That's probably because of the glow plugs. But these long cranking, if we want to call it like that, I believe is because of that. So let's just go onto live data again, because I want to show you. So the engine is now running, as you can see. I don't want to run the engine for too long, because otherwise it's gonna be a little bit of hard work working around the hot engine. So well, we have that. So there it is. So the torque value, or the torsion value, as you can see, is stuck to 0 because there's no information from the camshaft position, and obviously the ECU can't calculate this. This value here should oscillate between -3 and +3, close to 0 as possible, but because the ECU has no information to calculate this, it's just stuck at 0. And if we go down then to 25, wherever that was, camshaft speed, there it is, 0. Okay, let's gonna test that sensor then. Let's gonna see if we can find what the problem is. Okay, so down here I've unplugged it already. This is the plug for the camshaft sensor. The camshaft sensor is underneath this cover here on the side. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get to, but so this is the plug. So this is the harness from the engine. This one here, this black one, and this white one is the plug from the sensor. So the first thing we're going to do is establish if my problem is the sensor itself or if it's a wiring problem. And the first thing we're going to do is establish which wire is which. So on the engine side, on the harness side, I'm going to try to identify the wires. So first it's going to go, okay, pin number 1. Let's see what we have. I hope you can see this is in volt at the moment. So pin number 1, that's going to go to the positive side of battery. Positive side of battery. 2.3 volts. Okay, so we have 2.2 volts here. That means nothing. It's gonna see the middle wire. What we have in the middle wire? -7, forget about that. Okay, so the middle wire is 5 volts. So the middle wire is the voltage reference, which should be okay. The next wire is gonna be ground. So this is a 3-wire sensor, so it's going to be a Hall effect sensor or a Hall sensor. And the way it works is you're going to have a ground, 5 volts voltage reference, and your signal wire. So we established already that pin number 3, I don't know if you are able to see, so if I go to the positive side of battery, I have 12 volts in there. Now I'm going to swap them over. So pin number 2, which is the middle pin, if I go to the ground side of the battery, I get my 5 volts in there. And then if I go to the last wire, I should get whatever I get in there. It means nothing really. So I have 2.2 volts, but that's the sensor, that's the signal wire. So we have ground, we have signal. We still a possibility that the signal wire is broken from here to the ECU. so we can't rule it completely out. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna back probe this wire in there, and with the oscilloscope we're gonna try to see if we can find a signal on it. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I have the sensor back probed in there. It's raining, and I just don't want to be in there with my oscilloscope. But okay, so we have the scope set on a 1 volt scale. As we can see, we are having 0 volts still. I'm going to put this up actually to 2 volts, so each square will be 2 volts. Is on 500 milliseconds. This is probably way too much, but nevertheless we should be able to see something there. So it's gonna start the engine, and as you can see, we have nothing there, absolutely nothing. So if I start to increase this or decrease this 100 millivolts, we can see something there. So I'm going to turn it off. As you can see, so there is some sort of thing in there, but there's nothing. I think when you actually go into millivolts, you can actually kind of see something in there. Look, can you see this? All these peaks here? That should be probably the signal. But as you can see, it's all dirty. So yeah, we kind of can see the signal, can we? Sort of those little peaks is like if, you know. So all these peaks here, it looks like it's supposed to be the signal, but it's too weak. That's it's nothing there really. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna remove the sensor. I'm gonna take you through on how to remove it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so to remove the sensor, the first thing we're gonna do is take this pipe, try to possibly move this out of the way a little bit to give us a bit of room, and take this cover off. Okay, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the sensor, but the sensor is right there. Is right. No, you're not gonna be able to see it. Let me get up. Hold on a second. Okay, so the sensor is right there. That round thing in there. You can see the cable just going through that grommet. You can see the sensor right there. It's held with a 10mm M5, I think. Well, there's a nut holding it right at the back. It's behind the bit. Oh, there it is, right there at the top. I don't know if you can see it. There it is, right in the corner between the belt and the sprocket, and the pulley. When you take this bolt, you need to be very careful not to drop it, because if you drop it down into the timing belt cover inside there, you're gonna create a mess. So you need to be very careful when you take it out. Make sure you don't drop it. So we're gonna take it off, and then we'll pull the sensor out. So the grommet has been removed and the bolt. So there's a hole now on the side. You can see there. Can you see in there? So now we're gonna slide the cable on the side. It's really tricky to show you this, but you can see the sensor in there. Yeah, you can see the cable going down, and you can see that opening there into that hole. where the grommet was, so we're gonna slide the cable there and then pull the sensor to the other side. Okay, so the sensor is out. Here it is. When you put it back in place, the new one, there is this kind of notch here, this little thing here that helps you to align the sensor when you put it back into there. So yeah, we're gonna get hold of a new one, and hopefully this will cure the problem. Okay guys, right, this is not going the way I was expecting, mainly because of this. It's raining quite badly. My back are completely drenched, I'm completely wet, but I've got the sensor in place, the new sensor. So the old sensor, I got a new sensor, a genuine sensor, the part number if anyone is interested on whatever. Now so the sensor is back now in place. I've took the chance to check the glow plugs. I'm not gonna try to start the engine just yet. My plan was to actually back probe the sensor again and show you how the actually wave, how the oscilloscope should show you the signal. I don't think I've explained that. These sensors, these Hall effect sensors, they are basically a switch, and all they do is they go on off on off on off. So what you should see on the scope is actually a square wave going from 0 volts to 5, and you should see that perfectly square wave up and down. So I'm not going to be able to show you that because of the weather, but the sensor's been replaced. Now, if you remember what's codes in there for the glow plugs, I've tested the glow plugs, and indeed number 1, 3 and 4, they are gone. Now there's all different ways to test glow plugs. You can go with a multimeter, where you should get around a ohm resistance. You could clamp perhaps and just give them power and see what the readings you get on the clamp, how many amps. Guys, I do a much quicker test. All I do is I get a wire from the battery to the top of the glow plug, and I just touch the glow plug. If you see a sparking, like if you're taking load, if you see a sparking, that's a good glow plug. Although bear in mind, you could have a short plug. If you have a short plug, you'd see that was short, because the wire would just melt or would just get hot really quick. But you can see that way. So I've touched every single one, and the glow plug 1, 2, 1, 3 and 4, as the scanner is now uncharged, but as I was saying on the scanner, 1, 3 and 4, they don't do nothing. I touched, there's no spark, no nothing. Number 2, as soon as I touched, it sparks straight away, so he's the one that is good. So even before I attempt anything, and while I'm completely wet, I'm gonna try to see if I can get hold of some glow plugs and replace the glow plugs. I'm gonna replace them all though, because you know, if 3 glow plugs are gone, the chances are the next one is already on his way as well. So it might be better just to replace all 4. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully they're not seized. They're gonna come out just fine. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. Then I will come then to start the engine, look at the live data, make sure all the codes are gone, make sure we have a rotation from the camshaft now, and that's where we are. So if at least it would stop raining. Okay, I'm gonna take one out because I have some spare glow plugs, see if any of the glow plugs I have in there, if they fit. If not, I'm gonna have to go and buy them. Okay guys, so I got the old glow plugs out. We have the new ones here. I'm gonna put just a little bit of copper grease on the threads. Oops. And we're gonna torque it down to about 15 newtons, Newton meters, give or take, about 15 I would say. So that's what we're gonna do. And after that, yes, we're gonna then start the engine and see see where we go. Okay, this is the moment of the truth. I haven't started the engine yet, believe me or not. So just recap: a new camshaft position sensor and 4 new glow plugs. Just a quick thing on the glow plugs. I didn't torque them to 15 Newton meters. I've actually did 15 first, and then I put it up to 17. The specs is between 15 and 20, so I kind of went halfway, so it should be fine. Okay, let's gonna see how the engine starts first. Hopefully it's gonna start much better. So I haven't started the engine since this morning, so it didn't run for a few good hours, so just gonna see what happens. Oops. Okay, because I've been touching... What I've been... Oh, yeah, because I had unplugged a few things in there. Yeah, it might be because of that. I had to unplug the throttle body and a few other things in there to get to it. So it might be that this was because of that. But it's running now. Let's gonna turn it off, start it again, because it used to do every single time. So let's gonna see how it's gonna start this second time. Still taking a little bit for some reason. Try again. Oh, starts better now. Let's gonna do one more time. It's still taking a little bit for some reason. I mean, the glow plugs are brand new glow plugs, all 4 brand new glow plugs. So I want to see which codes we have in there now. It's gonna turn it off, ignition none. Okay, so 5M plus 2006. Obviously we're gonna have all the trouble codes that were there from before. Yeah, so that's gonna go clear DTCs. Yes, yes. Okay, it's gonna go in the live data. Let me start the engine. It's gonna see if I do have... It's 25, isn't it? It's 20. Well, still have no camshaft speed. What the hell's going on in there? Okay guys, I don't even know why I stopped the last clip. This video is going to be a little bit longer. I just hope I can get you guys to watch it all the way up to here, where there's a big twist to this repair. I've done a massive mistake, and well, mistake, they can come very expensive, and well, we all do mistakes, guys, and I've done a big one. My first big mistake, guys, was not insured myself that the pins on that camshaft sensor, they were the correct ones. I mean, they were correct assigned. Obviously, as you've seen from the last clip, was still no rotation, so I've dig a little bit further and I went to check the diagrams, and that's where I failed, guys. I fucked it up basically. So the sensor is here. Here's the sensor. It's right there. So this is the sensor here, and so 1, 2 and 3, they go straight to the ECU, which is fine. But the problem is when I go there. So I know this is in another language, but it's not a problem, it's in Portuguese, but I'll tell you. So pin 1 and 3 with the ignition connected, pin 1 and 3 should be my 5 volts. Okay, so which means when I said pin 1 would be the signal, pin 2 the 5 volts, and pin 3 the ground, it's all wrong. Those 5 volts I'm measuring in the middle wire. It must be a feedback from the ECU somehow. So what seemed to be a faulty sensor is now becoming a wiring problem. Now I've started to measure the wirings, and I found which wire is gone. I'm going to show you there. Just let me put the phone into the camera, the phone into the stand. Okay, so the ECU is there now. I've took it off. Let's go and have a look in there. So let me put it maybe here, maybe. Let me turn this to you so you can see it. Okay, so can you see it like that? I think you can. Okay, so that's gonna go. So pin number 1 on the sensor should go here. So this plug to the small plug, pin 27. So if I look for pin 27, so 15, so 27, that's what I get. Around 80s, it's just going up, and that's kilo ohms. So there's something wrong with this wire here. Now we'll check the next, which is pin 28. So pin 28 is the next pin straight after. There is, so 0.6 ohms, which is fine. And the next pin, pin number 3, is supposed to be my 15, 14, 13 is pin number 12 here. There is 0.9 ohms. So we have pin number 3, pin number 2 is missing the number 1. So number 1 here, like I said, is supposed to be pin number 27. Let me see if it's 27. So yes, it's the black and brown, black and white strip. So there is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one in there, and that's what I get. It's now on the mega ohms, 3.83. So we have a problem in this wiring somewhere. I don't know where, but there's a problem somewhere. So I'm gonna have to take this intake battery out and just follow the loom, see where the problem is. And just to make things a little bit better, it starts to rain again. it's starting to rain. So that's the twist, guys. That's the twist. Now, what I'm really hoping, I'm gonna pray while I'm tracing this wire down, is that the sensor that was actually in there, which is in there now, is that sensor is actually gone. I'm gonna put it back once I trace the wire. I'm gonna put it back, that sensor, and I'm just hoping that sensor is also gone, because if it's not, I have 89 pounds or something like that I'm gonna have to lose. Okay, so it starts to rain. I'm gonna see how far I can get tracing this wire while the weather is like this, but we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, so let's go. Is a lesson to learn for me, and for you guys is something for you not to do and to learn as well. To be fair with you guys, when you work with weather like this, although there's no excuse, I could have well checked the wire, making sure, but like you saw guys, when I measured the plug, I got the ground in there. I got the 5 volts on the, but that was a feedback from the ECU. Damn it. Okay guys, let's go. Start to rain. I might gonna have to pack things up and come on another day. But yeah, so let's gonna try to find where the issue with this wire is. Guys, I found the problem. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you this because it starts getting dark, but there is my problem. There is my problem. Well, there's more than one, but you can see right there all this corrosion, and if you look properly is the black and white wire that goes into that sensor there. So this has been basically rubbing against that pipe right there, and obviously just did what I did. So I'm gonna have to strip this loom and repair any damaged wires, and should be it. Okay guys, next day, much better weather. So I put, so we fixed that loom, and with the new sensor. So basically guys, long story short, this is a lesson for me to learn, and well, I should know better anyway, but is a lesson for you guys out there. Right guys, double check, triple check, check as many times as you have to until you are 100% sure that you are diagnosing the right part as a faulty. Obviously the only thing that misled me into the wrong direction was the fact that I could measure ground at the plug. I could measure 5 volts, which wrongly was the feedback from the ECU on pin number 2, and pin number 1, which I thought was the signal, was reading 2.2, which I was not worried about. So, but the problem was the 5.5 volts was actually the feedback from the signal wire from the ECU. Not feedback, was whatever I was measuring on the ECU, and the actually 2.2 volts, it was where it was supposed to be 5 volts. So if I were to check first the diagrams, obviously this will turn out to be completely different. Anyway, we rectified the problem in the end. Now I had to go back and put the old sensor back in. So in here, I'm going to show you, in this box is the new sensor. As you can see, this new sensor, one of the two, or is not working properly, or it doesn't belong to this engine. The reason why was, I don't know if I've showed you, but I think I did on the last clip. So I was able to get, with the new sensor, what I get straight away is a range performance fault. on the camshaft sensor. The car starts. Even now today, this morning, was still that sensor in there. The car starts, but the first 2 or 3 times he tries to fire up, it's like if he's tried to fire the wrong time, if that makes sense. And I would get okay, what you call it. So I would get the cam speed just like that. That would be fine. But when you come to the torsion, that torsion value with that sensor, it still show me 0. Oh, that was my problem there. And that fault, I cleared the fault as soon as I cranked the engine. As soon as I fire the engine first time, I get error straight away. So I put the new sensor, the old sensor, back in. And I'm going to show you that there is no faults at all. So that's spot on with the old sensor. So the new sensor, something's wrong with it. But yeah, the fact that I've diagnosed the initial problem wrong, I'm now on a loss of 89 pounds or 85, 81, whatever that is. But nevertheless, I'm going to try to return it because something is definitely wrong with that sensor. Even though it's a brand new sensor. Now even we're gonna let the engine to warm up first, but we're gonna have to look. Am I gonna have to adjust the timing because that torsion there, that torsion should not go over 3. So -3 or +3, we are having 4.4 at the moment. So we're gonna let the engine to warm, and then we're gonna have a look at that torsion value. If I need to adjust this torsion value, I'm gonna make a separate video for it. Surely there is videos out there showing how to adjust this on these engines, but I'll just make my own video. So this is the end of this part of the video, guys. So in the end, there was nothing wrong with the sensor. It was just that loom. There's a few lights on in there because I've been disconnecting the battery and stuff like that. But we'll get that sorted. So in the end, guys, I've diagnosed wrong the sensor, the faulty sensor. All the oscilloscope thing was completely wrong because I was measuring the wrong wire. What a mess, what a mess. But I could edit the video or not upload the video and just leave it, but just to show you guys how important it is sometimes to look at the diagrams, to double check, like I said already, double check, triple check, do as many checks as you need until you're 100% sure that you are diagnosing the right part. Yes, the weather was not very good, that kind of rushed me a little bit. Probably didn't help as well, but yeah, guys, I'll make this the end of this video. Might not be a very good one, but hopefully it will help someone out there. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Any comments, suggestions, whatever, put them below. And like always, thank you so much for watching and for supporting my channel.